What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Burn It Down with Kim Brown. This is the safe space where we set oppression ablaze because we tired. we setting shit on fire. We are burning shit down because we are fucking exhausted. We are exhausted by oppression. We are exhausted by systemic racism. We are exhausted by the fucking patriarchy. Men, you should be exhausted by the patriarchy too, because the patriarchy be fucking y'all up also. Also, we are exhausted by homophobia. We're exhausted by transphobia. We are just exhausted. And I think fire is a very suitable remedy for a lot of the things that we are enduring and dealing with. Hello, lovelies. I'm so excited that you guys are making a decision, a conscious choice to come kick it with your homie on a Tuesday evening. Listen up, everybody. Come on in. Come on in. Get settled. Get settled. Give the video a thumbs up. You know the routine. Give us a like and all that extra shit. Subscribe and whatever. Memberships. We do memberships now. We do all kinds of things. What? Skirt. It should happen at the top of the chat, and I need to be aware of it. But listen, guys, we've got a show for you today. I think it's a good quality show. We actually have a little bit of breaking news. I'm going to get into there was actions. Big up to the Amazon labor union. The Amazon workers was busy today beating some Bezos ass from Albany, New York, all the way out to Ontario, California. Is about it? Yes, all about it. Big up to the Amazon Labor Union. We got some labor actions to get you guys caught up on it. And as you see, also coming up in the show in the headline, Los Angeles Police Department murdered a person today in the very wee hours of the morning. But unfortunately, it is a great day for Los Angeles Police Department to kill somebody because there's a madness happening right now in the Los Angeles City Council. We talked a little bit about this morning on the Remix Morning Show, and I'm not going to get too much into it today because as we were going to air, I am seeing the White House commenting on LA City Council member Nori Martinez and her racist comments about Black children, and apparently she has some shit to talk about the Jewish people and Armenians and Wasakans. I said, God damn, Nori, they must have ran out of tape. How much shit was Nori talking about all kinds of different ethnic groups? I'm gonna see if we can get Richie on with us on Friday because I need somebody on the ground in Los Angeles to put all of this into context. But very interesting that the White House has weighed in on this, encouraging for Nuri Martinez and two other LA City Council members to resign. Jesus, I didn't know Joe Biden cared. He need to look at Baltimore City. if he calling on niggas to retire and resign from city councils, he can go right on to Baltimore next. Where else can he go? Everybody, I'm guessing Detroit. I'm guessing New York. Yeah, if Biden is making calls for resignations from local officials, he can start in Los Angeles and make his way to Baltimore, Maryland. That would be appreciated, please, and thank you. So we're going to get into. Now, I'm not going to get into that because that is still very much developing, unfolding. I can't even begin to discuss what's going on with Nuri Martinez. But the way the news cycle works, I was scrolling the Los Angeles Times' Twitter feed. I kept scrolling, waiting for the story about the person who was murdered today by Los Angeles Police Department and couldn't find it. I know it's there because they did report on it, and we're going to get into, again, the way in which local media continue to report on police shootings. If you happen to catch John Oliver's show this past Sunday, you would probably have heard some very familiar things to you. Some shit that has been said, not just by me, but lots of people say this shit, but I said, John Oliver, Anywho, also coming up later in the show, y'all, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And y'all know how I feel about domestic violence. As a survivor, I really want domestic abusers to have the shit beat out of them also. If they like to choke and strangle chicks, I would like to see them choked and strangled also. If they like to slap people, I would like to see them be slapped by bigger people than them and stronger people than them. See, I'm not a typical DV advocate. I advocate for fucking violence, okay? If you perpetuate violence, I think violence should be perpetuated unto you. So I have a different take about domestic violence awareness, okay? And I do want to talk about a couple of stories out Shirley's Way, out in Naptown, where the domestic violence, especially amongst Black couples, is it's scary. It's some scary shit, and DV is something that I think is an ongoing conversation that we could talk about for this month and beyond. So, while you guys are getting settled and straight away, can I big up all my people I see coming in here? What's up, Nat? A, what's going on? Who else we got in here? So Will came in here and set me up, got my studio set up a little bit tighter. Shout out to the Fire Fam Disability Support Chat. I'm so sorry that I missed yesterday's monthly meeting, but we had some studio maintenance issues that we had to do because Friday, Friday show was rough. It was rough. And so I needed Will to come in here and touch things with the Virgo energy. And he did. And he did. Came and touched the shit all with the Virgo energy. So my shit is way better now. Way better now. So anyway, I got a big screen over here because Will said, I see you over there struggling to read sometimes. I said, Will, shh, quieter, please. So I see y'all nice and bright. I see Court. I see Alicia. I see Nat. I see Quaker. Hello, Quaker Anarchist. Thank you so much. What's up, Holly Horn? I'm so very excited and grateful that you all are here joining me today. So this is good. What's up, a lady? 747, come through. I love to see y'all. So anyway, let's get started with some good news. By the way, we are in the second week of our fall fundraiser here at Burn It Down with Kim Brown. I'll tell you the ways in which you can support us later, the material ways, but the the free ways. Y'all can get in on them free ways. Like us, follow us places around the internet at BIDWKB, Facebook, Instagram, at Burn It Down KB on Twitter. We're on Twitch at BIDWKB. Thank you so much to the Northern Witch for holding us down, for making sure that we have a presence on Twitch. Appreciate that. So all the freeways, sorry. I'm sorry. My bad. All the freeways, please, and thank you. I'd like to say that. So let's get in on a little bit of good news. We got some good news. The Amazon Labor Union is what I would call with the shits. And I love to see it. So tomorrow in Albany, New York, upstate, big up, upstate New York, they are going to be voting for the union. I hope so. I hope they vote in favor of the Amazon Labor Union up there in Albany. The election is tomorrow, mañana, October the 12th. And the people, the workers from Amazon, the Albany location, have been out there. When I say they have been out there, they have been out there. And in addition to being out there trying to organize their coworkers, they had to deal with a workplace hazard last week. Remember, right here on this program, we covered not one, but two. I think it was a total of 3 Amazon warehouse fires at locations, different places across the country, 2 in New York State alone, right? The fuck is going on? So the Albany workers did experience a fire, but because I would imagine of the maybe lessons learned from the JFK fire that happened prior to the Albany fire, Amazon workers in Albany were allowed to go home while they put out the fucking fire, whereas JFK workers were not. That's why they had that wildcat strike that we talked about here on this show, where hundreds of Amazon workers at the JFK Staten Island location walked out of the building. They said, fuck this shit. We're not breathing in this goddamn fucking smoke, you assholes. So Amazon kind of learned a lesson there and let the Albany workers go home with pay the day that a fire happened in that location. But the workers are still out here very much struggling in a variety of ways. They are wanting higher wages. They are wanting better accommodations for workers who have disabilities. They want their job descriptions to be crystal clear because Amazon be trying to play fast and loose with the goddamn rules and shit, as we all know. So, Will, we are going to actually play the video with the tweet that says breaking. Yes. Okay. So let's look at here. So yes. So like I said, Albany had their election today, and we are going to play. I want to play the clip that matches the location. So it's going to be. It's the tweet that says, time to meet Sarah Chaudhary. By the way, y'all, we are going to hear from a young Amazon worker who is 18 years old. Big up Gen Z. Sarah Chaudhry is an 18-year-old Amazon worker in Albany and a worker organizer with the Albany United, the Amazon Labor Union Albany United, at this historic demonstration of power, of the power of the powerless. And they are encouraging people to vote yes on October the 12th, 2022. The company does not care about us, so we care for each other. And this clip is going to be of Sarah Chaudhry, 18 years old, Amazon worker organizer, Gen Z. Stand the fuck up. You know we love to see it. Gen Z is going to get us free out here. I'm trying to tell y'all. So let's take a listen to Sarah when she was speaking in front of Albany Amazon workers in front of the location, trying to rally people surrounding the unionization vote. Let's take a look.
Struggled to get my shit together on top of surviving on a starvation wage, and I thought I was alone at work. But then I'd hear things like, I got my second job after this. I won't get to sleep tonight. I don't feel well, but I don't have any UPT left. I have a chronic illness and they keep refusing my accommodation requests. My baby's sick and I can't afford the medical costs, while I'm already paying $500 a month for health insurance. I reported my sexual harassment. They shrugged it off and told me sticks and stones.
Boo!
I'm a single mother. All I do is work, yet I'm still behind on rent. I'm scared that my kids and I will end up on the streets.
You're not the only one. You're not the only one, girlfriend.
You're not alone. Yeah. These are some of the things my coworkers confided in me as they saw Amazon Labor Union lead organizer in big bold letters on my blazing gold vest. We are all underpaid for manual labor. We're thrown into the warehouse of horror slaughterhouse death traps. We're taunted with scraps like a non-contractual $1.30 raise as if we're animals. We're struggling to survive, and we are all suffering. We, the warehouse workers who generate Amazon Incorporated's wheels of wealth, are waging a peaceful class war for every meal skipped, every sprain, every medical bill unpaid, because we deserve more than the bare minimum or less. We deserve our lives back, and we deserve justice! Woo!
Yes, indeed. I love to see it. You guys know how I feel about Gen Z. Guys, are these your children? Are these your children out here? Are these your teenagers? Say yes. say these are your kids, because I'm very proud, and you should be very proud as well. And I think Big Teal had said, when I've asked this question on previous occasion, Big Teal said these are all our children. Yes, they are. Very proud of Sarah and her comrades, the Amazon Labor Union, going for their vote in Albany tomorrow, October the 12th. But that's not it. This was breaking news from Luis Felice Leon, who tweeted that breaking news, Amazon warehouse workers are staging a walkout today at 1 p.m. Central Time to mark Prime Day at the MDW2. I'm assuming that's the Midway facility in Joliet, Illinois, which is a central hub, a central node to Amazon's regional distribution network. Demands include a safe workplace, work with dignity, and a $25 an hour living wage. Big up, big up, big up. Amazon Labor Union. Well, they're not officially labor union workers, but the Amazon workers in Joliet, Illinois, walked off the job today. They were not alone. They were not alone. Amazon workers were with the fucking shits today. They were with the shits today. Pop up that tweet, Will, from the good folks out in Georgia. Come through, Stone Mountain. This was a tweet posted by More Perfect Union. Big up to More Perfect Union for their continuous ongoing labor coverage, which is usually very good. Always very good. I haven't really found a lot of fault with More Perfect Union. But here's what the tweet says. It says, breaking today, Amazon workers in Stone Mountain, ATL2 in Georgia, walked off the job again today when Amazon offered them negligible raises in response to their last walkout. Workers are demanding $24 an hour, y'all. These numbers, these numbers are trending in the direction where I want to see. Y'all know I've been screaming for these Amazon workers, all of them, to get a $30 hour wage, but this is the DS keep going up. Fuck that 15. The fight for 15, it was righteous, it was fine. But tragically, inflation did not keep up with the fight for 15. Capitalism said, what's $15 an hour going to do for y'all in 2022? Nothing. Not a whole lot. But hold on. There was more. I saw a tweet. Hold on. I don't have this in the doc. Well, my deepest apologies, but I'm going to read it to you because this was good. Christian Smalls tweeted this today. Big news coming from Moreno Valley, which is the Inland Empire in California. The ONT8, is that Ontario, California? Richmond, California is bad about it. The ONT8 warehouse filed for their election today with Amazon Labor. Congratulations to the courageous workers and the leaders who put in that work in daily on the ground. More details to come. Come on. Let's go. And is that the same tweet? Yes, it is. It is. Okay, so yeah, that's wonderful. This is a big deal, everybody. Wait, is there another one? Yes. Okay, wait. So this is an extension. Okay, so this is a reporter, Suhana Hussein, also tweeted regarding the Inland Empire, the Moreno Valley warehouse voting to approve voting to have an election. So the National Labor Relations Board confirmed that its Regional 21 Los Angeles office received a petition for the ONT8 Amazon full-time center in Moreno Valley, California, with Amazon Labor as the petitioner. It is the first time workers at an Amazon facility in California have sought a union election. Bezos, bend over. Tell Bezos, them cock rockets, that's finished. That's over with. You about to run these people they fucking money, Jeff Bezos. You about to run these people they money. Amazon workers are the reason that you are a multi-billionaire, that you are the second or first, or I don't even give a fuck what number rich person that you are in the world. You sitting on way too much money. Way too much money. We need to redistribute that. Okay, all that resources that need to be redistributed out amongst the community. We can start with your Amazon workers. How about that? I applaud the efforts of the union. I know what they're going for. $25 an hour, that's good direction. $24 an hour, great direction. Why can't all Amazon workers be salaried with benefits? The company can afford it. Why not pay them $60,000? Fuck it. Let's not look at the floor. Let's look at the ceiling, baby. Let's look at the sky. Let's look up. Let us not look down. Fuck a living wage. I'm talking about a thriving wage. Fuck a sustaining wage. I'm talking about people being able to live their lives kinds of wages. Obviously the working conditions have to be improved, but there is no reason why Amazon cannot pay its warehouse workers, its drivers a salary and not fuck all that entry level 28,000, 30,000, 32,000, 35,000. Fuck that shit. 60 G's. Run these people they fucking money. The reason why Jeff Bezos is a billionaire is because of the workers. It's not because of the ingenuity and the expertise of Jeff fucking Bezos. If he didn't have people out there creating the fucking capital for him and exploiting their labor at the same time, not paying them a living wage, not giving them benefits, making it difficult for them to take off sick or to even leave the warehouse if it is, say, on fire, right? Jeff Bezos makes all these things more difficult. Why? Because in order for him to be sitting on many, many billions of dollars, his workers have to make starvation wages. So that's fucked up. But good news, though. That's good. So big up to the ONT8 location. Big up to the Albany location out there in New York. They are going to gear up for their elections. Well, the Albany election is tomorrow, like I said. The Ontario or the Moreno Valley, that is excellent news. And thank you for the solidarity shown by the Amazon workers in Stone Mountain and Joliet, because that's what we need. That's exactly what we want to see. More of that. Now, I did want to mention kind of quickly, let's go to the railroad strikey article there from the Idaho Statesman, and I just realized that I actually listened to this article instead of reading it, but I still heard information. So this is an interesting story. So this is something that continues to develop. As you know, railroad workers have been, I mean, going through it with the fucking billionaires and the Biden administration running interference for all the fucking billionaires, right? So let me pull this up from the Idaho Statesman. Yes, and yes. But the long and the short of it is, what's going on here? The long and the short of it is that the opportunities for a strike are very much still there. They are very much still there, and they could definitely still happen because the largest railroad union did not accept the contract or accept the offer that was set forth by the railways. Get this out of here. How come every time I understand why print journalism is dying, and I'm gonna tell y'all why just very briefly, because every time I try to go to a newspaper article, they are killing me, Smalls, with fucking pop-ups begging for $1. And I believe in supporting local media, but damn, Idaho Statesman, I don't come to your website enough for you to be trying to shake me down for $1 just so I can read, this article out to my internet friends. I find it very offensive, and I'm not too pleased with this. So domine une minute. Spasiba. Why don't this thing go away? It's not going away. Yeah, maybe later. Haha, there we go. Alrighty. So the Idaho Statesman is reporting about the railroad strike. Well, not actually a strike, but potentially looming strike. So the headline reads: Large rail union rejects deal renewing strike possibility. Now, if there is a strike possibility, it's going to come in November, because that is how long the workers have agreed to work through these negotiations until the possibility of a strike comes back. So let me read this to you. The US's third largest railroad union rejected a deal with employers on Monday, renewing the possibility of a strike that could cripple the economy. Both sides will return to the bargaining table before that happens. Over half of the track maintenance workers, represented by the Brotherhood of the Maintenance of Way Employees Division, who voted opposed the 5-year contract. Now listen to this, guys. They opposed the 5-year contract offer that they were given, despite 24% raises and $5,000 in bonuses. Do you understand how fucked up these people's working conditions have to be for them to turn down a 24% raise and a $5,000 bonus? Like, just think about that. Think about that. I don't even know what job you work, but I assure you, if your boss said, "Hey, would you like a 25% raise?" And for you to say no, 25%, 24% raise and 5 Gs, and you say no, that should give you an indication of how dire and how desperate these people are to maintain or to achieve some sort of work-life balance that they clearly do not have whilst riding the railways. Okay. So yes, they turned down 24% in raises and $5,000 in bonuses. Union President Tony Cardwell said that the railroads didn't do enough to address the lack of paid time off. That is a big sticking point here, particularly sick time and working conditions after the major railroads eliminated nearly 1/3 of their jobs over the past 6 years. I need to do some more research because I do not understand. I can only assume downsizing their labor force, cutting costs on payroll, etc. But what there had to have been another sinister, more ulterior motive for these rich fuckers to downsize the railroad and maintenance workers by a third in 6 years. That sounds untenable. Let's say that. Quote, railroads are discouraged and upset with working conditions and compensation and hold their employers in low regard. Responders do not feel valued, said Cardwell. in a statement, they still resent the fact that management holds no regard for their quality of life, illustrated by their illustrated by their stubborn reluctance to provide higher quantity of paid time off, especially in sickness. They were giving people a hard fucking time about paid sick time off during a pandemic. Pieces of shit. The group that represents the railroads in negotiation said that they were disappointed that the union rejected the agreement, but emphasized that no immediate threat of a strike exists because the union has agreed to keep working for now. And I think that date is going to expire on November the 19th. Now, four other railroad unions have approved their agreements with freight railroads, including BNSF, Union Pacific, Kansas City Southern, CSX, and Norfolk Southern. But all 12 unions representing 115,000 workers must ratify their contract in order to prevent a strike. Another union, the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers, initially rejected their deal, but they have since renegotiated a new contract. Voting will be completed in mid-November. You guys know, anyway, I just want one of these sectors to shut down, right? If it's the rail workers, cool. If it's the Amazon workers, cool. If it's the nurses, I would hate to see it be the nurses for obvious reasons, but if it is the nurses, cool. Like I one whole sector has to say fuck this shit to kick off a general strike. I think if we can get one entire sector of the working people to say no, to go on strike, I really think you could get other sectors to I won't say easily join in, but I think people would definitely consider it very strongly. Very strongly. So there's that. We're going to keep an eye on the railroad workers and what's going on there. But I wanted to circle back because you guys know, I mean, I do not break news on this show, okay, y'all. I do not break the news. I think you guys already understand that. I seldom do I break fucking news. But what I do is if there are things that slip through or slip past, well, let me speak for myself here. Apparently, I don't think much gets past you all. I think you all are quite on it. But if there's some shit that got past me, let's say in the news cycle, I will circle back and be like, wait. What is this? What is this? And such an action caught my eye. This was 6 days ago. Okay. Out in front of the Los Angeles, and we going back to LA, going back to Cali, going back to Cali. That joint is so going back to Cali. Anyway, me simmer down. I was about to spit some big for y'all, but y'all didn't come here for that. Y'all did not come here for that. Biggie got gunplay, models on the runway, scream Biggie, give me one more chance. I be ripping on the freeway, they on NYC way, on the celly with my whole boy Lance. Pass hash from left to right. We only got 5 blunts left to light. I'm set tonight. Got to visit the Versace store. She said she till I ain't got no more. Only in LA. Let them bitches delay. Sorry. I would compose myself. Anyway, back to Los Angeles. A week ago, it was not all good just a week ago. Outside of the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors, did you know that the SEIU members representing, I believe, Local 2015? Does that sound right? per my notes that are directly in front of me? Yes, the SEIU workers, this is Local 2015 SEIU, and who do they represent? They represent over 400,000 home healthcare people, home healthcare aides, caregivers, and the like. And they were out there protesting higher wages. Root. They said they need better wages. first and foremostly. They also need better working conditions. And they want more consideration for their patients as well. But lo and behold, who the fuck come up from the fucking sewers, from straight out from the sewer? Did you know pigs lived in sewers? They do. Who came up from the fucking sewers? Nobody but LAPD, right? LAPD. If the numbers that SEIU tweeted are accurate, SEIU claimed to have 1,000 members out in front of the LA County Board of Supervisors to protest the wages, the low wages there. And LAPD showed up right on fucking time to try to bust up some home healthcare workers, some caregivers, and arrested people. Did y'all see this? Did you see this? Hold on, let me go to the chat. Did y'all see? Did y'all see this? Tell me if you seen it. Because I didn't see this. I did not see this a week ago, but there's been so much clearly happening in Los Angeles over the past week, particularly over the past 72 hours. I can imagine if some things slipped under the radar. So I want you guys to take a look at these clips because we love to see protest actions. Those are some of my faves. I love to see that. And these are posted. Scott Scotty. Scott posted these joints. And the tweets read home healthcare workers from SEIU 2015 fight in front of the LA County Board of Supervisors for a living wage, and they prepare for arrest. They prepare for arrest. They knew they was about to get locked up because that is exactly what the police are there for. They are there to stifle movements and to make sure that the darkies know their place. The darkies know their place. So LAPD prepared to arrest home care workers outside of the Los Angeles Board of Supervisors who are fighting for a living wage again. And the LA home care workers get arrested out front of the Board of Supervisors after being denied a living wage. So let's take a look at these protest actions and these home healthcare workers, SEIU members, getting arrested by the Los Angeles Police Department.
Temple east of Grant to immediately disperse onto the sidewalk, which means to break up this assembly. If you do not do so, you will be arrested or subject to other police action. Other police action may include the use of less lethal ammunition, which could cause significant risk or serious injury to those who remain. Section 409 of the Penal Code prohibits remaining present at an unlawful assembly. If you remain in the area which was just described, regardless of your purpose remaining, you will be in violation of Section 409. The following rights of dispersal are available west of Temple to your waiting buses parked on Grant. You have 10 minutes to disperse.
So those pictures there coming out of Los Angeles last week, SEIU 2015 website reads that the Los Angeles home care providers turn up the heat as they return to the Board of Supervisors to demand a living wage. And they go on to say that this was the most disruptive protest yet. Essential workers escalated the call for a $20 minimum wage floor. Come on. Again, speaking up in a Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors office. At the supervisor's office, an escalation of their demand for a path to $20 an hour floor, improved healthcare training, and other critical employment requests and benefits. Essential in-home care providers, members of SEIU Local 2015, which is the nation's largest long-term care union representing more than 400,000 nursing home and home care workers, were also joined by consumers and supporters in the demonstration, which was they called the most disruptive yet in the months long contract negotiations with the county. And from what I understand, I think part of the reason why they were protesting and the reason that they got arrested was because I believe the county the board of supervisors either voted down their $20 an hour minimum wage demand, or they tabled it. I will follow up and figure out what is going on specifically with that. But in the Bay Area, according to SEIU 2015. It says recently, in home caregivers of SEIU Local 2015 achieved a significant victory in the Bay Area, reaching an agreement of their union contract with Alameda County that puts these essential frontline heroes on a pathway of earning $20 an hour, a wage floor. Today's rally, which was six days ago, marks the latest in a series of actions recently taken by SEIU Local 2015 to bring attention to the crisis facing the broader long-term care community, both in private homes and in nursing homes in California. So we need to, and again, I feel as though $20 is too low. I feel like that's being a nice. That's how you nicely ask for more money. You ask for $20 an hour. Have you guys ever worked home health care? Raise your hand. I have worked home health care, and that shit is not easy. It is not easy. And big up to all the caregivers that we have out here that are part of our community as well, and though those who do it out of love, and those who do it as part of their vocation. Because number one, first of all, first of all, to work with the elderly and to work with physically disabled people, I hope you love people to begin with, right? You have to really like people. You really do, because it requires, when I say patience, it's not even so much that your clients, are behave in ways that test your patience. um it's a time thing, right? I mean, it takes a while to get a person out of bed. It takes a while to get a person from the bed to the shower. It takes a while to shower them, to wash them up. It takes a while to dress them. Like I worked home healthcare, guys. I worked a number of occasions before I went to university, but working with people who have mobility challenges, or even who may have developmental challenges, those people deserve to be fucking paid, dog. Paid. Didn't I tell y'all the story? Was this on a AMA that I told y'all? I used to work at a group home, a care home out in Frederick, Maryland. Ugh. I mean, no disrespect to Frederick. My bad. I didn't mean, my bad, Frederick. I didn't mean that. To take that back. So it was out in Frederick. Just, I mean, the distance is why I say ugh. But they call Frederick Fred Neck for a reason in Maryland. But that's another story. So anyway, I used to work at this group home with development. I worked at several group homes actually, but one of them, in this instance, was with developmentally disabled adults, young adults. They were all, I think, in their 20s. Some of them were verbal, some of them were not, some of them were mobile, some of them were not. This one gentleman, this one client, so I mean, again, just sweet, just sweet people, just sweet, sweet, sweet folks. Okay. But this young man, I put him in the tub. Y'all know what happened. I put him in the tub and he shot everywhere. When I tell you he shot everywhere, he shot everywhere. He shot in the tub. He shot on the floor. He shot on the walls. I mean, he shot everywhere. He shot everywhere. And I might have been making $8 or $9 an hour. Nigga, I need that same company to retroactively run me back my fucking money for cleaning up all that shit. For cleaning up all that shit. My point being is, very difficult work. It is challenging work. It is physical work. It is emotionally taxing work. It can be. And $20 an hour in California, SEIU 2015, we got to step that ass way up. Way, way, way up. $25 needs to be the floor. $30 really needs to be the floor. I think people who do that kind of work should get $50 an hour and or a salaried sort of position that the state should totally pay for. It is a reflection of our society, how well we take care of the elderly, people in nursing homes, people who may not be able to physically care for themselves. That speaks about us as people, as humans, as an American society. But we all know America ain't shit. and America proves itself continuously to not be shit by not taking care of the people who take care of the most vulnerable among us. So we wanted to take a moment to big up SEIU 2015, the healthcare workers, the nursing home workers out in California, Los Angeles Board of Supervisors, y'all so fucking busy paying LAPD $3.2 billion to go out there and harass and arrest healthcare workers. You need to be redistributing them funds. You understand? That's what defund the police is. You defund the billions away from the police and you fund the home healthcare workers, the nursing home workers. Um, I, everybody but the fucking cops is who you give the money to. You take the money away from them motherfuckers and you give it to everybody else. And that way, our old people are taken care of, our most vulnerable are taken care of. The police do not take care of us, as we're about to see in our next story. But before I get into that, let me take a momento and pause here for the cause, because you're watching Burn It Down with Kim Brown. This is the safe space where we set a pressure to blaze. We are also in the middle of a fall fundraising drive. We are trying to get some bucks up. And wait a minute. I meant to write out everybody that has already donated. I will do that Friday. I promise. I promise. But I am deeply appreciative. I thank my dearest baby girl, Ursula. Ursula, I saw your Cash App today. Thank you so much, baby. And I know some people ran us some bucks in some other areas, and I just forgot to write them down. But I will write them down come Friday, because y'all know I'm just forgetful. I'm not ungrateful, right? I just be forgetting. It's not that I don't appreciate it. I just be forgetting. So it's not intentional. But anyway, thank you all so much to everyone who has already contributed to our fall fundraiser. Where are we at, Will? Throw that on up. So where are we? We are just a little shy of maybe halfy. Maybe we're just a little bit under half. We're on the way. we like Jeffrey Osborne. We're going all the way. Hit us up. $ BIDWKB on Cash App, Venmo at BIDWKB, PayPal.me/BIDWKB, Patreon.com/BIDWKB. And let me be clear, y'all. No amount is too small. We see your $2. We will gladly accept your $2. Your $2 is fine. Fine. Or super chats. You could do that too. We could do a variety of ways. Or you can join us also as a member of the channel, where you get some member exclusives like our monthly Ask Me Anythings. We have some other membery stuff getting posted soon. soon. So and obviously anything that is members exclusive is also Patreon exclusive as well. So whatever floats your boat, whichever way you want to do it. This is the second and last week of our fundraiser. So if you're able to help us with any sort of material support, we appreciate it. Even if you want to buy some merch, we have a merch link on our About section of our channel. Shout out to Shades. Shades is getting a hoodie, a BIDWKB hoodie, and a Burn It Down with Kim Brown coffee mug. So thank you so much to Shades for supporting the thing, and everyone. Alice is. I know Alicia has also bought merch. Latif obviously has bought merch. Court, you bought. Everybody who has purchased merch, we thank you so much. We appreciate it very, very deeply. So thank you for helping us out during our fall fundraiser. What y'all talking about, Willis? What y'all over there talking about? Talking to everybody. Yay, this is wonderful. What do I want? However you want it. Is that what we're singing, Big Teal? How do you feel? Coming up as a nigga in the cash, living in the fast lane. I'm for real. Baby, is it cool? Hey, let me simmer down. I'm sorry. That's what old people do. By the way, can I tell y'all? Didn't I discuss this with y'all? Oh, completely off topic. Nursing home. I need y'all to get y'all nursing home playlist together. Okay, like if you think you're going to the nursing home, get your playlist together, man. And I can't wait. I cannot wait to be, God willing, 80. Inshallah. If I make it to 80, whatever year that'll be, 2058, whatever the fuck. And I'm gonna be in a nursing home turning the fuck up to Redman, Outkast, Wu-Tang, Lil Kim. I'm gonna be doing the most Incubus, but I think it's gonna be hilarious for y'all's kids, for y'all's kids and y'all's grandkids to see us, Gen X and young millennials or old millennials, elderly, bumping the shit out some rap music. Like, I think that will be hilarious, and I cannot wait to get older than I am. So I want us to move along, because speaking of Los Angeles Police Department, and again, the LAPD really caught, I hate to say it, like even like this, like a lucky break by all of this Nuri Martinez madness, because it seems to me as though the LA news cycle didn't even, I mean, it barely registered that the LAPD shot and killed somebody else. Let's throw up that tweet, Will, from the LAPD PIO, Public Information Officer. Very cash, very cash. Listen, check this tone. The casualness of the tone here, in which they say, a brief jeez, I can't even read. A brief foot pursuit ensued. During that foot pursuit, an officer involved shooting, there we go, buzzword, officer involved shooting occurred. The suspect, only described as a man in his 40s, was struck by gunfire and taken into custody. I'm sorry, what? So you're telling me out your mouth that you shot somebody and then you took them into custody. What does that mean? Los Angeles Fire Department paramedics responded to the scene and determined that the suspect was deceased. But I don't know what this person is suspected of doing, and apparently neither does the Los Angeles Times. And I was trying to get this up and about so everybody could read it, but it's really not much to read. And I'm going to read it for y'all because the Los Angeles Times is doing basically the work of the Los Angeles Police Department Public Information Officer. The LAPD, this is what their headline reads. It says, a man killed in police shooting after crashing stolen truck in Wilmington, LAPD says. Now, I don't see why the man being in a stolen truck is relevant. If you want to tell me he crashed a truck, okay, but why did he crash? And the fact that they put in this headline that the truck was stolen offers a default assumption of criminality on behalf of the person who was murdered by the Los Angeles Police Department. And even from within their own tweet, the shit already don't sound right, do it, y'all? They said the man crashed the truck, a foot pursuit ensued, and a shooting occurred. So that sounds like to me as though the person who was murdered by the cops was running away from the cops. Okay. How many times we're going to hear the same record over and over again? It sounds as though he was running away. If a foot pursuit denotes the cops are chasing him, meaning he's running away. No, and let me read the the LAPD Times, right? It might as well be the LA fucking PD Times, right? This is very short. So a man died in a shooting with police officers early Tuesday after he crashed a stolen truck in Wilmington and tried to flee, according to the Los Angeles Police Department. At about 3:30 a.m., police officers were pursuing a stolen truck near Quay Avenue and E Streets, according to LAPD social media posts. A man in his 40s, oh wow, this is so bad. A man in his 40s was driving the vehicle, and after the crash, he got out of the truck and ran away, the LAPD said. Officers chased the man on foot and shot him, police said. The man was taken into custody after shot. So basically, again, this horrific practice by the police of literally handcuffing dying people and or people who have already died is so goddamn barbaric and speaks badly of fucking white juju. I think I feel as though it is like some fucking white supremacist caucasity sort of, not spell casting, but like a spiritual power flex. Like when you handcuff or shackle people who are dead and are dying, I feel as though that potentially does something to somebody's soul. I know that may be a little out there generally of a statement to say, but that's kind of what I feel like. I feel like, why the fuck do y'all keep doing this? If it were not for some just depraved motivation. So officers chased the man on foot again and shot him, police said. The man was taken into custody. Los Angeles Fire Department paramedics pronounced him dead at the scene. And the only other thing that the LA Times offers here is the man's handguns at the scene were at the scene and were booked as evidence, police said. No bystanders or officers were wounded during the shooting. The incident is still under investigation. Now, I like to watch John Oliver. I on HBO last week tonight with John Oliver. I'm not saying it's the greatest, but what I really appreciate is the in-depth reporting. John Oliver's analysis on some shit I could kind of take or leave. But this past week, this past Sunday show, he talked specifically about the way that crime and quote unquote violent crime is reported by local news media, and he got in depth into some points that I have made here repeatedly on this program about the fucked up way that police say journalism, officials say, authorities say, according to police. If you're only getting the perspective of the police, you're going to be telling the public a lie, media outlets. Anything that comes out of the cop's mouth, especially the first things, the first version of events is always laden with lies. Always. I don't know if there's any truth in what we just read from the Los Angeles Times because they sourced all of their information directly from the Los Angeles Police Department. The only thing I'm inclined to believe is the age of the person that was murdered. They said in their 40s. Okay, maybe that's true. I don't know for a fact that this person physically had handguns, which again, for them to bury that at the end is very non-police PR of them, right? Because usually if the quote unquote suspect, which again is a problematic characterization in the first place, but yes, if the person that police are pursuing, if they had a gun or if any shots were fired or even just merely the possession of the gun didn't even have to be fired. That's usually some shit that they lead with, right? That's usually some shit they don't bury that at the end. That's the reason usually for the person for police to say that the person was shot is because they were armed, right? So the murder person whose name I don't believe that we know as of yet. And again, I think a lot of that's intentional. But if they were armed and driving the stolen truck allegedly, and again, I can't even rely that that's accurate, right? Nothing the police say when they take somebody's life, when they take a civilian's life, is ever the truth. It is always spin because these police act as actual executioner squad. You were running away from police. You were driving a stolen truck. You had something in your hand. Like these are reasons that the police use to just flat out assassinate people in public who are regular civilians, more often than not, who were not doing whatever the police initially accused them of doing. So I want to say shame on the Los Angeles Times, even though I do not really expect more from the Times, but just for emphasis, y'all need to do way fucking better. The LA Times. This is why when we're looking at Los Angeles, that's why I have so much love for the independent local journalists out there. Cerise Castle, Vishal Singh, who is we've had some other youngins from Cali. Big up to Film the Police. Even though we haven't had them on here, I would love to have them on there. Like Los Angeles has got some high quality independent local journalists there that cover the police way more better, way more accurately, and way more reflectively than ABC7, KTLA, the Los Angeles Times. They do a terrible fucking job. They are always there to give the police the benefit of the doubt. And this LA Times piece about this, I believe this will be LAPD's 14th murder of the year. According to the People's City Council, the LAPD, this is not the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department numbers, those are separate numbers, but the Los Angeles Police Department has shot 30, killed 14, including this person who died this morning on Tuesday morning there in LA. So we want to send our condolences to the family of this person. Again, we don't know their name. All we know that I believe reported is that they were male and in their 40s. Everything else, all the other details. Oh, and I do believe that they handcuffed him after they shot him and probably when he was dying. Now that I do believe. The rest of that shit in that puff piece about the LA Times, sourced by the LAPD PIO, Don't believe none of that shit. Don't believe none of that shit. Um, let me take a quick pause here. My phone keeps going off. I keep thinking, oh, Quaker just ran us some bucks. Thank you so much, Quaker. We appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for supporting the fundraiser and for generally supporting the channel, and not just supporting the channel, but supporting us at Black Power Media. The Fire Fam shows up when I do Status Coup. So you guys, it's very nice. It's nice. It's nice. It's nice. I'm very grateful. It's very nice. It's very nice. Um, the last thing I wanted to get into, I don't even know what time it is. Oh fuck, it's 8 o'clock. My bad. Just been yammering, yammering. I'm gonna get through this kind of quick though, because it's one of those stories. I know y'all think I really like to talk about domestic violence and sexual assault. I don't. I do not actually. I would love to talk about Thundercats and He-Man and all the other shit that kids my age really enjoy. Right? I love to talk about those things, but no, I have to talk about domestic violence and sexual assault because these things are very pervasive and accepted things within our culture, even within our community. I hate to even say that aloud, but y'all, I gave a little commentary about Joe Button's comments about stealthing. And I mean, first of all, I don't expect numbers on YouTube because I don't think YouTube amplifies the kind of shit that I talk about, which is fine, but whatever. But just in the conversation cycle out there in the world, didn't really see it go nowhere. Didn't really see it go nowhere, did it? Did it? I don't even think Spotify even blinked. Spotify didn't even consider relieving that admitted sexual assaulter of his job. Didn't even. Everybody just kind of shrugged, as I knew they would. And this is the reason why I talk about these topics, because I want everybody else to see the apathy that Black women experience when it comes to violence being committed against us, right? Like that ain't some shit that I say. That ain't some shit that I'm happy or glad about. I wish it was the opposite. Truly, I do. But I've been on this planet 44 years, and I realized, sadly, that nobody really gives a fuck if Black women are harmed, Black women are beat on, if Black women are murdered by their abusers, if Black women are sexually assaulted, or if Black women are raped. That's just par for the course. That's just something Black women just gotta endure. And not to say that other women do not experience that or endure that. They do. And I think they also encounter apathy as well. But I think the specific indifference reserved for Black and Indigenous women. I'll throw in our Indigenous sisters in there as well, because I think the same levels of apathy and indifference get aimed at them as well. So October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Okay, and I am going to have somebody join us, not today, but later on this month, to kind of go over the different ways in which domestic violence manifests itself, right? In intimate partner relationships, it can manifest itself via, child abuse, kids still getting beatings, like that's domestic violence. The way it presents itself in LGBTQ relationships, like I think all of these different dynamics about DV are very relevant and necessary for conversation. But I want us to look at a package from out in Indianapolis, because there was a pair of domestic violence incidents that both ended in violence, both ended with people getting killed. And I didn't go out to select Indianapolis because, truth be told, look in the local media outlets in the state near you, in the state where you are. I'm sure a domestic violence story is right there waiting, because people get killed and are harmed in domestic violence situations all the time. Shit, that's some of the most dangerous situations that police don't even like to put themselves in. They don't like to be in there fucking with domestic violence shit, because why? Because usually, usually the man is ready to go all the way, right? And again, and not to say that women aren't perpetuators of domestic violence. They are. But when we break down the numbers as to literally who dies as a result of domestic violence incidents, those numbers ain't close. Those numbers are not close. It is women dying a lot and men dying a little. So there's that. But I wanted to take a look at this package. And this is from WTHR. And, they're just talking about DV. And well, that is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. But when they are trying to put out resources for survivors to reach out to, whom they omitted to me was very telling. So let's take a look at this package from WTVR in Indiana.
For many, it's a daily silent fear. Many children are often witness to it. We're talking about domestic violence. IMPD on the scene Sunday of yet another domestic violence incident.
It's just sad how things is happening every day. You know what I mean?
Police say Thomas Talley held his ex-girlfriend hostage at a home on Indy's west side. They heard a gunshot. SWAT rushed in and shot Talley. He died. The woman survived.
Unfortunately, the circumstances did lead to a death, but it was a relief knowing that this wasn't a hostage situation where a victim was pronounced dead at the scene. We don't get that often here in the city.
Daniette Smith is a survivor turned advocate.
This isn't something that just started during COVID. It got worse, but it also brought the attention of knowing that there are a lot of families who are needing this assistance with domestic violence.
Just 2 weeks ago, Orlando Mitchell shot and killed the mother of his 1-year-old son. Crystal Walton was laid to rest this past Saturday. According to a report by the Domestic Violence Network, 65% of all domestic violence-related homicides in 2018 and 2019 in central Indiana were committed using a firearm. In 2020, that number increased nearly 10%.
You need someone that can walk with you, that can understand with you exactly what you're going through as survivors, and then get you to where you need to be. Whether that's working with you in the home or getting you out of that home because it could be dangerous.
Reasons why Smith encourages victims of domestic violence to get an advocate to help keep them safe. If you or someone you know needs help, there is help available. Just call 1-800-799-SAFE.
You know who
French,
they
did you?
you know who they did not say call? You notice? Did you notice that? Not the reporter nor the domestic violence advocate. You know who they did not say to call? They did not say call 911. They did not say go pursue a restraining order. They didn't say reach out to the police. They didn't say any of that. And I think that is extremely telling. And I appreciate them not saying that. I don't think that was coincidental. There was a Black woman reporter, and her primary source there was the Black woman DV advocate, and neither of them told people to call the police. Because at the end of the day, what y'all, the police do not keep us safe. And especially victims of domestic violence, the court system is pretty much ineffective because and obviously I'm speaking from my own perspective, from cis hetero perspective of relationships and the way that this plays out in other relationships. Please fill in the blanks. But I mean, if your man is trying to kill you, guess what? A little piece of paper, a restraining order is not going to stop him. Okay. And there has been numerous times, documented times, in which a person, a male has or female, but I'm thinking specifically about men here, but where a man has violated the protection order and the woman has called the police and asked them to come, and they won't. And they fucking won't come. And they won't do it. And those statistics were particularly sobering coming out of Indiana. As Shirley has told us, the state of Indiana has some of the most lax handgun laws in the country. I don't. What's the rule, Shirley? You don't even need. You don't even. I don't. They give them to babies in elementary school. I mean, they ain't going that far, but I mean, pretty much like you don't need a permit. I don't think you need any sort of training or certification in order to purchase and carry legally a handgun in the state of Indiana. So, according to that story, 2018, 2019, 65% of domestic violence homicides were committed with a handgun. In 2020, that number went up to 75%. So now, with the increased proliferation of guns, all I can think of is that there's just going to be more domestic violence victims that end up getting murdered because the guns are so easy to obtain, and the police are generally very ineffective at making sure that domestic violence survivors get protection. I mean, help is one thing, and women do need help, especially families, if they need to move, if they need stable housing, if they need transportation, like all of those things are very important. But if they are not able to be made safe from their abuser, then all that other shit doesn't mean anything, right? And the only ones allegedly who can keep them safe are the police. And the police do not do a good job of that. And I'm so deeply sorry to the family of that sister who was murdered by her partner. But that's not a one off. I assure you, she was not the only Black woman murdered by her partner over the weekend, right? And if we expand that out to all women, it's a very, very serious situation. So throughout this month, we are going to be talking about domestic violence issues. We're going to be speaking with DV experts, and trying to, I guess, come to a solution. Because I will admit, y'all, I mean, my solution, it's a little immature. Okay. I choose violence. I choose violence. Now, I want brothers in the community to choose violence on behalf of survivors, right? Because again, there's a lot of lot of little girls like me who are not in a physical position to be going toe to toe with some man, right? But should I be struck, abused, whatever, I would like to see something happen to the abuser. And so many times, more often than not, nothing happens to the abuser. Like I almost think it's a romantic sort of fantasy that a lot of people have. And maybe, and again, y'all know I have a tendency to project my own situation into the shit. So if I'm out of turn here, feel free to correct me. But not everybody can call on their dad or their brothers or their uncles or their male cousins to come fuck up a man who has put hands on you, right? Like and maybe some people do have it like that. I don't know a lot of people that do. You know what I mean? Maybe a couple, but overwhelmingly, the survivor slash victim of the domestic violence has to figure out a way to either survive the situation and to figure out and plot a path forward, because not everybody has familial protection. And if you don't have familial protection, you kind of have to rely on yourself. But I don't think that that's what it should be. I think that if you don't have a father or brother or uncle that will stand up in a chivalrous way to confront your abuser physically, right? Then there should be a squad in the community of men tasked for that, right? Like, I think somebody should be tasked with that. Like, that needs to be somebody's job. Like, that needs to be some shit that we as the community fund. And what does that look like? I'm not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure. And I understand, again, just citing the statistics that I just read out, I know we live in a very violent society. And I know pussy ass men who are liable to beat women are liable to also bust them guns, right? Because at the end of the day, they hit women because they are afraid to confront a man physically straight up, right? And those are the same kind of niggas that will go and shoot over fighting, right? Like they will smack a woman and then shoot at another man because they don't really want that drama. But there has to be some sort of there has to be a resolution here, y'all, because I do not accept that abusers just get to be out here abusing like unchecked, unregulated, unfettered. Like I don't accept that. And the reason I don't accept that is because I don't accept that for your daughters. Like I do not accept that for your kids. Like I don't accept that for little girls out here. I don't accept that for the young women that are in middle school, high school, college. Like I don't accept that for them. And the police are not it. So what is it? What is the community solution here? Fuck up abusers is my solution. that is my personal contribution to the fucking solutions bin. Fuck up the abusers. Now who gonna do that? We're gonna figure that out. So anyway, I want to thank you all so much for supporting Burn It Down with Kim Brown. Please join me tomorrow morning on the Remix Morning Show on Black Power Media. Tomorrow, guys, I'm not going to be doing status quo. Pardon me, didn't mean to burp in y'all ear. I'm taking my mama to the show. We're gonna go see Tina Turner. Oh, not actually Tina. Tina's in Switzerland. Tina said, "Fuck you, niggas. I'm never going back to America." Don't I wish we was going to see Tina Turner? But no, we're going to go see the musical that is going to be here in DC, fresh from Broadway, coming down I-95. So I'm going to take my mother to go to that. That's going to be really nice. So no status quo me tomorrow. You can expect me back on status quo next week, but I will be doing the Remix Morning Show tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern. So, guys, that's the show. Just a reminder, COVID, COVID is still out here jumping on people. Oh my God. How do y'all, for people who are conscious of COVID and shit, how do y'all eat in restaurants? Because I'm taking my mom. It's me, my mom, and her friend. Maybe I'm putting way too much business out here, but whatever. Me and my mom and her friend. I'm taking them to eat beforehand before we go to the show, and I have not eaten in a restaurant since COVID. I mean, if it ain't been outdoors eating, I'm not going inside. Like I literally have not eaten indoors since the fucking pandemic started. So how do y'all eat? How do you eat? Because I'm going masked. I'm gonna be in the theater masked. I intend to be in this restaurant masked also. I just gotta take my mask off and hope for the best while I'm eating my calamari. Just gotta hope for the best, huh? I just gotta keep hope alive. Well, ain't this a bitch? Anywho, COVID is definitely still out here jumping on people. I've seen strains with new letters and new dots and new numbers. I said, what fresh hell is this? So COVID is out here jumping on people. I do not want it to jump on you. Please social distance, wash your hands, mask whilst indoors inside public settings, if at all possible. And do your thug thing out here. On behalf of Will and Molly, thank you all so much for supporting the show and supporting our fall fundraiser. You can find all of our links to our material support in the About section or right underneath this video. So you guys have a great rest of your evening. I will see y'all back here on Friday. See y'all later. Bye bye, Fire Fam. Love you.